new year, new us. Be better, do better, call today. Dear Jim, new year, zoo us. Yours, the big unit, SJP, and Mike Glennon. Brett from Bugahaw wore that Anderson Cooper gag noise after especially bad emails and tweets. So not this one. I don't know. Let's try it. Hold on, Alvin. Let's see. Oh, here's an email. Let's see. Dear Jim, new year, zoo us. Yours, the big unit, SJP, and Mike Glennon. Brett from Bugahaw.
For real? Are you kidding?
It's not bad, Brett. Not a bad idea.
I don't drink.
One more email. Rome, please note that I have left the locker room open for the team to pull any item that they would like from Antonio's locker. All items must go. Signed, the Steelers locker room manager. John in Huntington Beach, war an update on Hawks marathon training. I think I can do that. All right, so remember, last hour we had an email from a detective in New York at the Amherst, New York Police Department talking about how foolish Hawk was. Adam Hawk, the EP of this show, is trying to run a marathon, and he's learning to do so online. Bought himself a nice pair of running shoes, went down to a vacation home in San Diego, spent some time with the fam, went out for a run, came back, left the shoes on the porch. They got ripped off. And you're asking for an update. All you have to do is ask. I can oblige. Go ahead, Adam. Put on your cans. And by the way, those shoes that got ripped off, how many runs had you had in those shoes?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were new.
They cost you how much money?
I don't like the $140.
Yeah, I don't like to ask either. That's expensive. That's a lot of dough. I know what you make, Hawk. That's a lot of money for you to be that reckless. All right, so what are you going to do? Like, does this mean since you had your shoes ripped off, are you going to quit and not run this marathon? Or are you going to find a way to get around it? Are you going to go Zola Bud and run barefoot? Now what?
First off, what is Zola Bud? And second off, I have to get new shoes. I have to run this marathon. It's a non-refundable entry fee of $170. So yesterday,
dude, you have lost so much money being an idiot.
Yeah.
Think about that, man. The smog check,
the car getting towed,
getting
fleeced at Hyundai.
Right.
For a cat
it's incredible,
tattoo,
man. How your decision making has cost you and your family and your kids so much money. All right, go ahead.
Breaking the lease. Yep. Yeah. So I went to a boutique running store yesterday. They have specialty stores for running. Boutique, yeah. It's not like a giant store. It's
yeah, I know what the word boutique means. You just mispronounced it, but anyway, go ahead.
So I went to this running store and
did you eat a tomato before you went to that boutique?
I did, and
Okay.
I had a plan. I was working a plan because this boutique.
Because your plans always go so well, Hawk.
This one went actually really well. So they film you on a treadmill and they size you up and they measure your feet and they do 3D
like getting
scans.
custom clubs.
Exactly. And, I've read online that you should have the right shoes for marathon running. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll go have the experts put me in the right shoe.
At the boutique.
So I went and they spent about 40 minutes with me, sizing me up and watching my form and presenting shoes. And, I told the...
Dude, why would it take more than 4 seconds to size you up?
Well, I have, some...
Bag. Just kidding, Hawk. Go ahead.
I said, hey, go ahead and bring me out a pair. I'd love to try them on. And that I had a plan the whole time.
Dude, are we talking like treadmill, videotaping?
Treadmill, 3D scanning, all that stuff, measuring. It was great. The whole nine. And so she brings out the shoes, and they're these sweet Nikes. And I'm like, I'm all in my head. I'm like, okay, this is absolutely what I want. But I had the plan, and the plan was...
Before you tell me the plan, can I just say this? She was probably working her ass off. Working hard to get that commission, doing as good a job as possible, right? You for 40 minutes.
Yeah. She spent a lot of time.
You put her through the paces.
Yeah, she asked how training was going. She looked at like some of my runs and everything. She gave great advice. So she brings out these shoes. I try them on. They're absolutely perfect. I love them. I would walk away with them in a second. And then I saw the price tag, $140, and I was like, okay. So I specifically asked her if she could bring me out a different color, knowing full well that I wasn't going to buy the shoes. I just needed to shake her for a second. So she went to the back, and I took a picture of the shoe box, and then she brought back the new color, and I said, well, I'm sorry. I was looking for something more flamboyant. I like to run in flamboyant-looking bright shoes.
What?
Which is actually true. But the whole point was to get the picture of these shoes so I could go home and get them on Amazon for half the price, which I did. So I shook her and said, I'm going to have to think about this. And she said, well, what's to think about? You love the shoe. I've got them here.
Oh, I love the power clothes. Look at her. I love that.
You can't take time off from training. You need to be in these shoes as soon as possible.
Oh, she's good.
And I said, yeah, that's true, I guess. But
I love her. She's good.
yeah, we spent a lot of money in December for Christmas, so I'm going to have to think about it. And she said, okay, I will.
Because she knows that a D-bag like you, the second you're out the door without those shoes, there's no way you're coming back in, bag. She knew. And I'll tell you what else she knew. That nonsense about, oh, it's not flamboyant enough for me.
That is actually kind of true, but I would have walked away with those shoes. But I knew in the back of my head that...
Hawk, you would not have walked away with those shoes. Your whole plan going in was to find a shoe you liked and then to get it on Amazon for cheaper.
And I did, because I went home and I found them on Amazon for $80.
That's fine. Just stop lying to me about how you would have walked out if the shoe was flamboyant enough, because you wouldn't have.
Fair enough.
You saved how much money by doing that?
140 minus 80, so help me out, Keith. $60. 60. What is it? 60. Okay, 60.
Your IQ or how much money you saved? I wish you would have just called you on that. She knew. She knew what? She hadn't seen that scam before. She hadn't heard the old, sorry, they're not flamboyant enough line before. She's heard that a million times.
Yeah.
She'd see right through you, Hawk.
I felt bad. I was going to buy one of those water bottles that attaches to your hand that you have to have when you run long distance.
Yeah, you felt bad, Hawk.
And then I saw the price tag on that. Took a picture of that and then got that on Amazon.
Did you say that the water bottle was not flamboyant enough either? What does that even mean, not flamboyant enough?
Nike makes these really cool shoes in various colors that are very, very loud. And I like the loud apparel.
Hawk, you really are trying hard to get people to look at you, aren't you? Cat's hats, flamboyant water bottles. Dude, you were working really hard to get people to look at you.
Prime Shipping will have the package on my doorstep in one day, which also makes me nervous because the last pair of shoes on my doorstep.
I was just going to say, I can't say how badly I want somebody to rip that thing off before right as it gets there. I so badly want those things to get stolen. I'm rooting for you to get ripped off again, Hawk, after you treated her the way you did.
Yeah, I deserve it.
If you were trying to get people to hate you more than some people hate Antonio Brown, I think you succeeded.
Thank you.
You owe her an apology.
I'll apologize to her. I'll come see her after the marathon, let her know the shoes she recommended were great.
Wow, Hawk. You're getting baggier by the second. If I were you, I'd quit while you were well behind. All right, well, there's the update. Great story, Hawk. Good talk, Hawk. Really good talk. This guy asked for an update, and there you have it. Every time Hawk leaves this building, I have no idea what's going to happen to him. He's going to get his car stolen. He's going to mess with somebody. But it's all going to come back, Hawk. You keep treating people like that, it's going to come back. I promise you. And not in a good way. Not in a good way. Hawk's like, hey, Keith, 4 minus 2. How much is that?
The simple math says that.
Hey, Keith, you went to college, right? What is 1 plus 1?